Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cozy Cushion. It's Natasha here, your intuitive empath with psychic ability, dropping by to say hello and check in, ask you how you're doing. Today's November 1st, and here in Nova Scotia, where I live, we've had our first snow flurries. So I know some of you have don't like the snow, and some of you perhaps don't even get snow where you live. But here in Nova Scotia, we haven't had snow for Christmas for a little while. So I'm hopeful every year that it snows and we get some snow through winter solstice, December 21st, through after Boxing Day here to the 26th, 27th. We have a lot of hills here in Nova Scotia, and it's always fun to go out coasting and take the tubes that people blow up in our sleds and go out, get some exercise. And we haven't been able to do that for a little while now. So I think it would be really important this year to go out coasting. Another reason I wanted to show up today is to have some coffee with you and spend a few moments with you once again to tune into your body, your heart, your mind, your body, and your spirit. Check in with yourself while you're checking in with me and see how you're doing. There's been a lot of heavy stuff on my mind, which is the reason I created the Cozy Cushion. Recently, when Matthew Perry passed away, it hit my heart extremely hard in a few ways. And it reminded me of how precious our people here on the planet are that make us laugh and bring us joy to the world. And it made me think about our choices we make in life and sometimes the actions that we take. And here at the Cozy Cushion, I want us to all live our best lives and to be cozy and at peace. And that's what I love talking about most. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about that because it's very important. So if you want to have a coffee and go grab one for a moment and sit down with me as I have a little chat here with everybody about things that have kind of been on my mind lately. Or maybe even grab a glass of water. I'll give you a moment to do that. Welcome back. So today what's heavy on my mind is I've been watching commercials and TV, and I've been thinking about a lot about what our world's going through. And it's always been important to me as I've grown into a human being. So as some of you know, in my lifetime, I've been a cashier, I've been a housekeeper, I've been a drug addict. I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic, but I had problems with alcohol. I've been a single mom. I've also been a personal trainer, a yoga teacher, kickboxing instructor. I've been a health coach. And with all those things, what I've learned the most is the reason we don't take care of ourselves is because we're so busy surviving or tuning out. And one thing I've realized the most in doing my work here at the Cozy Cushion as an intuitive empath with psychic ability, it's really been evident to me that not everybody, when I was doing my meditation, sometimes I would say things like, think back to a happy time in your childhood. And I realized with my intuitive work and the work I do as a medium and talking to our loved ones is that sometimes those are reference experiences that we don't have. We don't have the love of a mother or a father or a friend. we may have never felt safe in our life. And those are the things that are really heavy on my heart lately. Safety. We have a war going on. And here in Canada, I'm sitting here so safe, so cozy, so warm, so sound here in my office, my sacred space that I've invited you all into, where we can chat about whatever we want. I can swear in here. I can talk about all different kinds of things. So today I want to talk about choice, and I want to talk about action. I want to talk about our habits that are hurting us. Habits that we participate in solely because the pain in our life sometimes makes it feel worthwhile. Because one thing I've learned over my lifetime, in a hard way, is people that love us don't often say no to us. Sometimes the people that love us don't say no to us. The reason why I'm saying that is because I've had a very long road to recovery from addictive habits that have changed the course of my life. It's a variety of bad habits that I've accumulated as I've grown and I've needed to survive in our world, either when I was a single mom or when I was a drug addict, and most importantly, when I cleaned up my act. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't an easy road. So I want to talk about that with you, because I want to invite you into your very own new life. So if you've been doing things out of pain, like drinking too much alcohol maybe, or maybe doing, you know what I'm talking about. You're doing some things that are not feeling good all the time. You're not being a friend to yourself. And I'm here because I want to invite you to change that. So if you've tuned in today, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you're somebody that's tuned in a couple times and left me comments, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate every comment I get on every video. I really want to learn and evolve with you guys as a community, holding sacred space for anybody that comes across me. My business as a intuitive empath with psychic ability is completely referral only. So that's what makes me a little different, is that I only work from a referral standpoint. So in order to get one-on-one time with me, you have to have seen me and reach out to me personally, or you have to know somebody that's had a reading with me. So that makes it kind of unique. So let's circle back to changing our lives for the best and how we can become cozier. November 1st really reminds me of my own life to slow things down. Slow life down. There's no reason why any of us need to be running around, beating our guts out for any reason. I can hear your excuses flowing in now of how you need to make money and so on and so forth, and I do hear you. But just hear me for a second. If we slow life down and we slowly remove each thing in our lives that no longer has a place or a purpose, our life slowly but surely gets easier and better and better. And what I mean is, when I became sober and wanted to change my life circumstance as a single mom, I needed to say no to myself. I needed to surround myself with people who did not support my habits. When I got sober, I needed to surround myself by people who did not support my habits. And that is so important as to what brings me here today with you, and why I wanted to create this sacred space in a place to invite you, because I've been living my dark night of the soul. I've suffered from anxiety and depression. I've known what I wanted in life, but not what to do about it. I've been overcome by grief and sadness and immense pain due to my life experience as a whole. And I want to create a sacred space here with me that allows us to bring ourselves to the here and now, make a decision to change our lives for the better, one day at a time, by minimizing the things we know are hurting us. So when I started getting sober, one of the first things I tried to do was go cold turkey with a lot of things: cigarette smoking, smoking weed, drinking, some other habits that I had as well. And that didn't work for me. And so I needed to figure out what would work for me. So what worked for me in my recovery journey was keeping all my friends, because they mean so much to me, and anybody that knows me knows how much I absolutely love and adore my friends. You know, you guys, none of you can do no wrong in my eyes. You know, I love you as you are, as you always was, and as you will always be. So when I needed to change my life, I realized that I was surrounded by people that wouldn't say no. That includes everybody in my life, my friends, my family, my town, my community, my doctor, the whole kit and caboodle. So I had to say no to myself. So that is something you should write down, because it's very important. It seems so easy, but we justify so many things by saying, I've done the hard work, I deserve this. And it falls back into our loop of self-destruction, not self-care, and most importantly, not facing our true potential, and living in the fear of either not being enough or being too much, because there's people out there that are literally shutting themselves down because they are so smart, they are so beautiful, they're so talented, and they're so scared to be rejected by our world. So today's a new day for anybody that tunes in. If this makes sense to you and you're feeling heard, please subscribe. I love it when you follow me, and when I have an opportunity to get to know everybody better. It helps me sculpt my videos and our chats and dialogues for not only things that are very meaningful to me, but also very meaningful to you. And what the Cozy Cushion is also all about is reaching out to engage, educate, and really touch the lives of people who are struggling, that may not have a support system. That's another thing I realize as an intuitive empath and with psychic ability, is so many of us don't have a true support system that makes sense for us. You know, I'm very fortunate because my support system I've handpicked by choosing who wanted to serve me authentically. And what that means is the people that loved me unconditionally, never tried to change my mind about anything, but just wanted to hold space for my personal growth. Those are the people that were just there out of the genuine kindness of their heart. Those are the people that really made a difference in my road to recovery. For me, I decided to choose to take action in my life. I was a mom on welfare, and it was killing me. My drug habit, my drinking was all killing me. Being a stay-at-home mom was killing me. It wasn't working out for me. So I had to take action. So what I did was I got a job. And in that job, I had somebody hire me that wouldn't say, that would say no to me. And she actually fired me because of my habits. And that was a great learning lesson, because I learned a couple things. One is that job meant the world to me. I didn't like it, but it meant the world to me. And so once again, it made me choose to take action again. It made me reflect back on my habits and make choices that were in my best interest for my personal growth. And it was important to me, being a young mom, that I changed my habits for my children. It was important to me, my children always had me in their lives. And it took me a long time to figure out my confidence and my choices and my actions and how they affected me and how they affected everybody. It was a very long process. So that's why the Cozy Cushion here is to support you in your processes as you take steps to live your best life for you. And one of the things that was vitally important to me in my road to recovery and living my best life was how I needed to paint the picture for myself. So for me, I knew that I needed to be safe. I needed to be in an environment that did not support my habits that I didn't want. So I got a job working for a police officer's wife. And anybody that knows me knows that that could be an interesting fine line for me, but it was so helpful. And it was a choice that was made for me initially by Spirit. But later, I realized how important it was for me to choose that again later in life, which is later when I became a personal trainer and as I figured things out. So one thing I want, if you're having trouble with addiction or confidence or self-harm or depression or sadness, I need you to know that as you take care of yourself and as you paint your life by people that are there for you in a genuine way, it doesn't take many people. Because when you have true allies on your side, you realize that they support you to support you. So you may never see some of these people. One of my most important pivotal people in my life was a lady who took a resume from me. I sent out a resume to Curves, which is a place, it's a gym for women only. And I sent out a resume during this time. I needed to find a job when I was a welfare mom, addicted to drugs. And they didn't answer me for a whole year. So you need a lot of patience when you take this journey. That's another key, is you're going to have to be very patient with yourself. And so I sent out a resume and she answered, and I went in for the interview and she hired me. And not only did she hire me, she supported me. She loved me. She understood me, and she did not ever try to change me in any way, shape, or form. She's now a lifelong friend. I hardly ever see her in person. She lives nearby. And she's one of the reasons I'm sitting here doing this video called The Cozy Cushion. And it's those pivotal people in our lives that come with us on the journey to wellness, that say no to us and support us in our best life as silent partners, that really do make all the difference. And I want to encourage you to seek out new people because they come in really, really surprising ways. You know, another good friend that I have that's a lifelong friend that's really helped me in this journey to become Natasha, owner of the Cozy Cushion, the sacred space that's held for you here today, was another job interview. I went to a job interview at a restaurant, and we went down in the basement, and we had a quick interview that quickly led to basically maybe 2 hours of us talking about why it was either of us were going to be in the restaurant business. And it was interesting. And that's actually how we became friends. So now we support each other in everything we do. She creates companies. I love to talk. So I've talked for her companies and her endeavors. And every once in a while, we just meet because we love each other so much and we love to brainstorm and support each other. And it's neutral. There's no expectations at all. It's magic. So set yourself out to find people in your life that will say no to you, that will support you in making good decisions for yourself. I just also want you to give some credit and love to your dog, if you have one. I'm a dog person, so this is going to hit you in the feels. And one of the most important commercials that changed my life when my habits were at their worst was this commercial. I think it was by maybe our Canadian Liquor Commission that put it out. And it was kind of this dog sitting at a door, and it was like, don't drink and drive because, your dog's it's gonna really hurt your dog if you don't come home. And that's funny that it took a commercial talking about my dog to realize that if I didn't change my actions, my son would feel the same way. My mom would feel the same way. My good friends that love me as I am, and my dad, and so on and so forth. So your dog cares about you. And it's so funny, when I was getting sober, this is another thing I need to really embrace in myself. I started getting sober and clean so I could be a better mom to my animals and my children. And another thing that was a catalyst was allowing my child, I have two sons 15 years apart, be a part of that process in all the good ways. I can remember one year for Christmas, I asked my oldest son, what do you want for Christmas? And I used to smoke in the house, and he's never like that. And I used to smoke in the car, and he never liked that. And I can't say as I blame him, honestly. I'm a non-smoker now, but this is how I became a non-smoker. I said, what is it you want for Christmas? And my son looked me dead in the eyes, and he said, I don't want you to smoke anymore. And I thought, okay, wow, okay. So this is what I've got to give my child for Christmas. And that year for Christmas, he made me a no smoking sign to put in our window of our apartment so that it would let all my friends that were smokers know that we were now non-smokers. We weren't going to smoke in the apartment anymore. And it took a while. I'm not going to lie, it took a while. But the funny thing that happened is once I chose that action and that choice, I chose to quit smoking. It wasn't easy. It was ugly. There was a lot of falling off the wagon and so on and so forth. But what happened is I quit smoking. My mom quit smoking. My dad quit smoking. My sister quit smoking. Cigarettes. We're just talking about cigarettes. But my actions and choice to hear my son, and I chose to do the next best thing, has led me here a bunch of years later. I think it's probably 16 more years, give or take. I haven't smoked a cigarette at all. And neither has, a lot of my family members either as well. So I mean, it was beneficial for all of us, as a whole. So if you're struggling with your habits and so on and so forth, like I just want you to hear me that I care and you matter. And the family that surrounds you, even if it's unhealthy and it's toxic and it's fucking awful, I can guarantee you there's people in that circle that are praying for you and hoping for you and really want you back. So if you've been stuck in your addiction and gone for a little while, I want to invite you back to come into my sacred space. Let me know how you're doing. I'll be there to support you. Let me know what you need. And yeah, because you know what? Drugs and alcohol don't care, but your dog does. Your drug dealer will never say no to you. Sometimes your parents may never say no to you. Your children sometimes are faced and stuck in never being able to say no to you. Do you know who needs to say no? You. So that's my message for today. Natasha from the Cozy Cushion here November 1st, offering sacred space here. A little bit of our first snow in Nova Scotia. It's extra magical here. I want you to say no to yourself more often. But I want you to also say yes to the things that you miss in your life and the things that you want in your life. Make them more meaningful than your pain. Because you can't get rid of it, friends. It doesn't have to stick. It doesn't have to stay. It doesn't have to take you down. You don't have to battle it or fight it. All you have to do is choose one thing that's going to make your life better today. So thank you for joining me in this entire video. I know it was long, but it was my whole heart. And I hope that you're cozy and you stay cozy. Most of all, I hope you know you're loved by me. Tune in next week. Not sure what day because I'm bad at that, but tune in. And I hope to have another message here for you because our world needs more love, more hope, more service, more people getting their shit together. And that's important to me. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.